Welcome to Fueling Your Legacy, hosted by Samuel Knickerbocker. Each week, we expose the faulty foundational mindsets of the past and rebuild a new, stronger foundation essential in creating your legacy. We've got a lot of work to do, so let's get started. Welcome to the Fuel Your Legacy podcast, and we are back on today. I want to give you a quick update on my website. It is nearly finished. There's just a few things, but you can, as of a few days ago, actually, if you go to samknickerbocker.com, you can get access to all of my speaking engagements, get links, and then also you can get access to a strategy session with me. You can get access to my free ebook that goes over really the intention and the why it's important to build a meaningful legacy. You can also get access to my webinar, the Legacy Blueprint and You Are Worthy webinar. So that's on there as well. Just fantastic information. I recently spoke at the Strengthen Your World event with Travis Brady, and what I found was that, and even in a 45-minute section, it's hard to share everything. That webinar goes into just 4 specific, very, very specific topics. 1, that you're worth it. 2, how to legicize your money, how to actually think about money properly. 3, your debt, your relationship with debt. And then lastly, what value is, what's monetary value, what's not monetary value, and how the interchange of that works. So even though it's only 45 minutes, it focuses on 4 core aspects of how you can build your most meaningful legacy. Through that, you also get access to some other goodies that aren't available for everybody, but you have to wait till the very end. You have to watch the whole webinar before you get access to some of those benefits at the end of the webinar. So I'm going to leave it there. You're going to have to just be surprised at what that is. But that you have access to all of that. Also, you can get access to this podcast if you're looking at wanting to be a guest on here. You think, hey, there's value. I can see myself adding value to the Fuel Your Legacy Nation and people, then that is an option as well. We'll just have you fill out a little form, and we'll judge from there whether or not we can see you adding value. We'll probably reach out and get a phone call just to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're all adding value in the best way possible. So that's for our website. Now today, again, we're on this. The whole story this week is how to work hard and play hard. And today I'm super excited about this book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. Now I first read this book a few years ago, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago I first read this book, and it really shifted the way I think. So my business, I was playing small. I was just in one area of the state that I live in, maybe in a 35-mile radius, and that's where I was getting most of my business from. And when I started to read this book, I started to realize, man, we live in a world economy, and what I'm able to do if I just stay and play small where I'm playing, then I can't really impact the world the way I want to impact the world. I want to be on stages on multiple countries. I want to be on stages in front of hundreds of thousands of people talking about forgiveness, gratitude, self-acceptance, and how that actually directly plays into your financial habits, your financial beliefs, and the way you use money. And so because that's what I want, I realized I cannot accomplish that if I keep playing small the way I've been doing. So I first started by just getting out there a little bit more. Then I started going on to social media. Social media is a world in and of its own. Facebook is really interesting because Facebook focuses you primarily on your friends and your friends of friends, a lot like LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, you get to see how many friends away you are from somebody that you actually know. And so LinkedIn's maybe a little bit broader of a network. Facebook, very kind of tight-knit, right? You're basically, unless you've accepted their friendship or they're a friend of your friends, then they can't see your profile. Instagram, however, is an entirely different beast. Instagram is a worldwide thing. I've got things on my Instagram that are being liked. When I do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live, then it gets watched by people from all over the world. Literally all over the world. And so what I realized, I needed to be adding value to something that was all over the world. And when I switched my mindset from earning income to adding value, a few things changed. And most of all, my time freedom freed up a ton because now I was no longer locked into one place. And this is what's important and what's key specifically about the 4-Hour Workweek. 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferris, his whole perspective is, why are you working? And most of us, we actually only work 4 or 5 hours a week anyways, right? We show up to the office late. We got to drink our coffee. We got to check our emails 4 or 5 times, which each takes about a half an hour. We got to shoot the crap with our friends. Basically, it ends up that we actually are only working 4 to 5 hours a week anyways. Even though we're at work for 8 hours a day, we're actually only working for 4 to 5 hours a day. So he says, well, if that's all we're working, we can get all of our work done in 1 hour. Why don't we do that? The problem is, the reason that most people don't do that is because corporations pay you to have your butt in the seat. They pay you for 8 hours of work. If you get all your work done in 2 hours and you leave, then you only get paid for 2 hours of work. And so that's why people will stretch their workout over a whole 8-hour day, because they can't get it all done. I mean, they don't get paid unless they take that long. And so he kind of rebelled against that system and said, okay, well, what if you were able to work for 4 or 5 hours, work hard, intentional, focused, remove all distractions, like head down, ready to go to work, and just killing it for those 4 to 5, maybe 10 hours a week? What would you do with the rest of your time? And this is where he was able to completely automate his business, get into a career field where he can run his business basically from his computer, and he can do that anywhere in the world. And in the book, this book is really interesting. It's another one that's not really a book. You can listen to it on Audible, and it's okay, but I would strongly, strongly suggest actually picking up a copy of this book. And here's why. This book has more links, like hyperlinks or URLs of websites, than any book I've ever seen in my life. Tim Ferris spared no expense. He didn't cheap shot you on time. He's giving you everything that he has for you to be successful at the game he's playing, okay? So he's giving you websites of where to go find different things that you could market, where to get ideas for doing a type of career like him, right? He's given you all of the resources to go do that as far as information and web pages go to. You still have to go do it. You still have to go take action, but he's done basically everything that he can for you to make that an easy transition. And so this is a book you really want a copy of, so you can always take notes and say, hey, highlight the ones you actually want to go look at, and then go and look at those when you make the time, right? You're never going to have the time. You need to make the time. But so for that purpose, I would say go get the book. Now, he created his system where he could go anywhere in the world and work really hard for a few hours a week. Now, the benefit to this is now he actually has more time to play. And this is where work hard, play hard comes in. He was able to travel around the world. He was able to become a kickboxing champion. He was able to travel to many exotic places, just do whatever he wanted, spend time with his family if he wanted to or not. Like he had all of the freedom because he was able to just maximize the hours he was working. He was still working. He was still actually working the same 4 or 5 hours. He just now wasn't pretending to be working for 7 of them. He just was actually working 5 or 6 hours a week, getting all of his work done, and going out and playing. So the question I would have for you is, what is it that you're doing at work right now that's not paying you? What is it that you do on a daily basis that's not paying you? So my wife and I, we just had a conversation this morning about she's going through some major paradigm shifts in her life, which is awesome. I love it. It fires me up to see my wife with such passion. That's why I married her. I knew she had it in her, but for whatever reason over her lifetime, it's kind of been squashed or put down. And so for me, it's so fulfilling to see her take the reins and just like she's ready to take on life. And that's just, it's so attractive. Like honestly, probably one of the most attractive things ever is to see a woman fully in her power with a purpose and direction. So she's now thinking about all these things that she wants to do and things that she can become. And I believe in her. I know that she can. So the question is, how do we make sure that the income matches up with all of the amount of time that she wants to spend playing? Okay. How do we make that the income match up to that so that she can actually do that? So what can she do for 4 or 5 hours that can fund and pay for all the rest of the things that she wants to accomplish and do in her life? And that's the question, right? How can we work harder for a shorter period of time to actually play harder later? And so what we decided, right, this morning, we're going over our daily schedule and said, okay, well, what are we going to implement? What are our daily routines going to be? If we're going to commit to this, what are our daily routines going to be? And so we recreated our daily routines as far as watching television, reading books, attending our religious services, getting to the gym and actually exercising, tanning, doing whatever it needs to be to help us get the best and most out of our day? How do we manage our time between our children and babysitting and making sure that we actually are taking care of our children and spending time working, right? One of the things that she's going to start doing for me is a little bit more of my social media marketing. And that is because she wants to participate, okay? She wants to just participate and be able to add value to what I'm doing. And I don't know where it's going to end up, right? There's a lot of different things that I've swapped off onto different assistants. And I know that she can't do all of them. So we're going to find out what she can do in the time that she has. And eventually we're going to work up to structuring our life to where she has time to play hard and work hard. And same with me. I need to play hard and work hard. We got to do both. And we got to make sure that we're actively pursuing both objectives to make sure that we are actually fulfilling our lives and creating a legacy. You don't want a legacy of just that you worked hard, right? You want a legacy of you actually enjoyed other things in life. And so that's the question. How can we really create the best legacy, and how can we create it of working hard and play hard? Most of the really successful people that I associate with, now I know that there's successful people that don't do this. And we're going to hear a lot about that from Rob Murgatroyd on Friday, because he actually works with these people who really struggle to take time off. But the people that I associate with, the people who are very successful, they work really, really, really hard when they're working. And they also play really, really, really hard when they're playing, right? They would, like our company that I've been associated with, they rent out a whole island in Fiji just to take people to, right? Just to play, not to go work, but to play. They go on world tours. They go and do all these fun things. They go to Hawaii for 2 weeks, right? And then they do one 2-hour meeting so they can write it off for their taxes. But then for the most of the time, they're just playing, right? So you got to be strategic as well about how you play. If you can go play and do a little bit of business and you're an entrepreneur, then you get to write that off, right? So how do you strategically make your play still a tax write-off and an expense rather than not an expense, okay? So here's all the things you have to start thinking about, or you can start thinking about when you actually get in tune with the idea that you work hard and you play hard. How do you make that happen? How do you make the most out of both of those concepts and beliefs and systems? So that is the whole focus of the 4-hour work week, is how do you mesh that blend and make sure that everything's working in your favor. I strongly recommend you go and get it. It's about an 8-hour long book on Audible. But again, even if you listen to the Audible book, I would strongly suggest picking up a copy because it has the links in it. It's more like a workbook or a guidebook. It's like a dictionary of how to be successful online, how to create your life in a situation where it reduces all the stress, maintains the same or better income, and gives you the lifestyle that you want. That book is purely focused on how to have and maximize your lifestyle today. And lifestyle, I believe, is really what most people are chasing, is how do I get the best lifestyle? How do I spend more time doing what I love and less time doing what I don't like? And that is the question. So go out and check that book out. And then last thing, I want to give a quick shout out to our event here. We are doing on May 11th, Travis Brady and I were teaming up to do a event called the Next Generation Wealth and Legacy Workshop. And we are going to deep dive into habits, mindsets, and behaviors surrounding money and legacy. And we're going to be talking about some things that are pretty taboo and that most people are not going to tell you because it makes them look maybe not the best in the world when they start sharing secrets. But we don't care. We're going to share all of the secrets and give you a proper representation and understanding of how and what we're actually dealing with when it comes to money, and not just money, but also the how to create multi-generational legacy and meaning and branding and lifestyle for your family, okay? Because that's money in and of itself is nothing. Money is nothing. Money is just a tool. So how do you use a tool to make sure that you're perpetuating a lifestyle and giving the message that you want to your children? That is what we're after. I know there's a lot of people who are struggling. They've now worked 10, 15 years in a career. They're kind of satisfied, but they're looking back thinking, man, I missed out on so much of my children's life because I was focused too much, okay? And this ties directly into this. They're focused too much on working. They got the work hard down, but they didn't play hard. They didn't play hard enough with their family. They didn't coach the soccer teams. They didn't make it to all the basketball games. They didn't make it to all the plays, all their dance rehearsals. They didn't make it to all that stuff because they weren't able to, okay? And because somebody else controls their time. And so when you're thinking about, man, is this event for me? Absolutely, it's for you. If you're in that position, or maybe you're recently divorced and you're thinking, okay, how do I manage to make the money and to hold on to the money, manage the money properly, to create the legacy that I want, okay? It's all about what's the outcome. The outcome is the legacy. The outcome is the peace. The outcome is the comfort. The outcome is the unity that comes from knowing how to use money. It's not about money itself. It's about, do you know the rules of the game that you're playing? And if you don't, or if you're sitting there thinking, I don't really know, I wish I knew more, then you need to be at this event. I do have a promo code. So if you go to my website and click through and message me, or on Facebook or Instagram, then I will get you the promo code, and you guys can get a huge discount. It's about 62% discount if you get the tickets directly from me, and you get registered directly from me. But love to share that. Just say that you heard this on and you were directed from Fuel Your Legacy podcast, and we'll make sure that you get that discount. So again, take a screenshot and post it there. We are going to for this event, we're going to do not a drawing, but the third person to post on Instagram is going to get a free ticket to this workshop. So the first person to screenshot Fuel Your Legacy, the third person, I don't know if I just said the first, but the third person to screenshot Fuel Your Legacy, and we'll do the first three, actually. We'll do the first three. I just changed it. The first three people to screenshot them listening to this episode, Fuel Your Legacy, and post it on social media, tagging myself, so Sam Knickerbocker or Samuel Knickerbocker, and Travis Brady on there, will get a free ticket to the Next Generation Wealth and Legacy Workshop. So just for the first three, and then if you want to bring somebody else, you'll have to pay for that ticket, but you will get the first three tickets. The first three people to post it are going to get a free ticket to the Next Generation Wealth and Legacy Workshop, which will be held in Sandy, Utah on May 11th. So we'll get you all the details as you post this, but happy competition to whoever is motivated to learn more about their legacy and how they can really excel and show up better in the world. So stay tuned. Actually, you can go follow the Next Generation Wealth and Legacy Workshop page. If you do that, then you actually will get to see some of the panel members. We're going to have four panel members at minimum for on the finance and money side, and then 4 people on the legacy side. You're not going to want to miss them. The expertise that they're bringing into the field is just insane. I super look up to these people that we've invited. That's why I've invited them, because I want you guys to be able to receive as much knowledge and value as possible. And so we're going to do whatever we can to get them there. A lot of them have already committed, which is really great. But we're going to have them come and share really how they've been able to do that. But go ahead and click on that. I know this is kind of a long ending to this, but it really ties into, have you learned how to work hard? Are you maximizing the time that you're working so that you can play harder? Are you financially confident enough with your working that you can play harder, right? It's all about this. And this is exactly why we are creating this event, so that we can teach people how to enjoy their life more and intentionally create the life that they want, rather than living a life of reaction to their corporation. So with that being said, enjoy your week. And this week is fantastic. Look forward to the Friday episode with Rob Murgatroyd. And if you get a chance, even go subscribe to his podcast, Work Hard, Play Hard podcast. It's fantastic. He does a few different episodes, and they're just really, really insightful. He has super successful people on there, and he actually has a relationship. Every week he does one episode with him and his wife, and that's my favorite episode of his that he does in his podcast. So if you're curious about relationships and how to make them work as successful entrepreneurs, go and check that out. And have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you next time on Fuel Your Legacy. Thanks for joining us today. If what you heard resonated with you, please like, comment, and share on social media. Tag me so I can give you a shout out on the next episode. And thanks to all those who have left a review. It helps spread the message of what it really takes to build a legacy that lasts. Catch you next time on Fueling Your Legacy.